the vortex. Must stop the bleeding. Can't. No! Communicator.
You will have left us here defeated, but the Time Disruptor will destroy your TARDIS. The Dalek Empire will rise again, Doctor. Your ashes will be scattered to the 9 corners of the universe. Prepare for extermination.
They're going to fire the Disruptor again. I must enter the vortex. No navigation. I'm going to have to enter the vortex blind. I must concentrate. Gotta stop the bleeding. Can't see the controls. Is this the end? No. Please. Not like this. Not now. Changing again. So tired. So tired.
What are you doing? Who's all this?
That power would set me up above the gods.
Who am I?
Who am I? So tired. So very tired. It's up to you now, girl.
Doctor Who and the Prophet of Doom by Paul Ebbs, starring Stephen Johnson as the Doctor. Episode 1.
Night, Jack. I'll look up. See you tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. I'll be at the head librarians meeting up at County Hall. You're in charge tomorrow.
Of the whole library? Wow. Can't wait to tell my mum. She'll be so proud.
Cheeky. See ya.
Bye. One day, Monica, all this will be yours. What an empire. 10,000 moth-eaten paperbacks, a leaky roof, and a carpet that first saw service during the English Civil War. Oh, Jack. You said you were going to put these books away. He's left it for me again. Men. What on earth? My giddy aunt. A police box. How did that get in here?
Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing.
Who are you? And how did you get that thing into the library?
Well, I used to be able to walk. I seem to have lost the use of my legs temporarily.
I'm calling the police.
Why?
Because, well...
I don't think the highway code covers the parking of police boxes in libraries, young lady. And anyway, I can't see any double yellow lines between the E to D rows and the children's section.
Who are you?
Who? I'm the Doctor. Who are you?
Monica Fallows, assistant librarian.
Well, hello, Miss Fallows. I feel I owe you some kind of an apology and an explanation. 2 things I will be quite willing to furnish you with once you have furnished 2 things for me.
What 2 things?
A telephone, so I can contact my friends at UNIT to come here and assist in getting this sadly horizontal TARDIS into a more vertical disposition, and a mirror.
A mirror?
Why, of course a mirror. I want to look at my new face.
Give it up, fellows. There's no way out.
Leave me alone.
All the doors are locked and exits are barred. You can't escape.
Please let me go. I didn't want to get involved in something like this. Pollock is mad.
Mr. Pollock isn't mad, fellows. He has sound financial judgment and an incredible sharp nose for business.
But the guild is evil. You must see that. Evil.
I don't get involved with that side of business, fellows. I'm not as straight as guys like you. Mr. Pollock likes chaps like you up in the temple, and that's where you're going now. Come here.
No.
That's it. Quietly now.
Mom, you're breaking my arm.
Not yet, but perhaps later. I found him on the couch, Mr. Pollock. I think he was trying to leave prematurely.
Seize him!
No. Please let me go. I won't tell anyone about this place. I promise. Please.
Bring him to the altar. Hold him fast. You may leave us now, Tench.
At once, sir.
I'm sorry.
Bring down the helm of Machiavel. We, the brothers of the Guild of St. Machiavel the Usurper, bring before our Lord the worthless body, but the keenest mind of a new believer. St. Machiavel, he is yours. See, brothers, see the power of St. Machiavel. Look upon his works, ye mighty, and despair.
Hello, miss. Major Rice, United Nations Intelligence Task Force. I see the doctor's arrived with a bang. Where is he?
So, UNIT does exist then? I thought he was making it up, but the orderlies from the funny farm were arriving soon. He's inside that box thing, changing his clothes and fixing stuff. Well, shouting mostly.
Infernal pepperpots! Plated septic tanks! Months of work! Absolutely months of work! How dare they develop a time disruptor when I find the idiot who sold them the technology on? Upon my soul! Major Rice, how are you, my dear fellow?
Doctor? You've changed again.
Absolutely. And definitely for the better, don't you think?
The beard suits you. I'm not sure about the clothes, though.
I'll have you know, these were made for me by Beau Brummell's tailor. They're the very picture of what an English gentleman would wear.
Maybe to a fancy dress party. Do you want the TARDIS taken back to your lab, Doctor? I've got a flatbed outside and a few lads. Oh, and we brought Bessie along.
Capital. How's the Brigadier?
Hating the desk job in Geneva more and more every day. Colonel Sherrington's in charge now.
Sherrington? No, I can't say I know him. Good chap, is he?
Seems to be, Doctor, seems to be.
Come along, Monica.
Where to?
Unit HQ, of course. The canteen will still be open. It's the least I can do to buy you dinner after the mess I've made of your library. These chaps will clear up. Leave the keys with the Major. See you this evening in the Naffy, Major Rice.
Absolutely.
Splendid. Do keep heart, Monica.
Oh, my head. Where am I? No.
You will remain silent while preparations are made.
Where am I? What is this place?
First stage treatment to begin. Connect probe.
What are you doing? No, stop! Stop! Help! Help!
Probe connected. Download to begin. Name.
No!
Name.
Fallows!
Do you freely submit your will to the Army of Light?
What are you talking about?
Do you freely submit your will to the Army of Light?
No! I don't know what you mean! Please let me go!
Increase pain to level 6. Do you freely submit your will to the Army of Light? Level 9.
Yes! Whatever you want, anything. Just turn this thing off!
Recording complete. Subject has freely submitted his will to the Army of Light. Prepare contracts. Transmit information to Central. Blank and freeze.
What? No! No!
Pass to storage bay to await takeoff.
It's not every night I get taken out to eat inside the building of a top-secret spy organisation. If only the food could have been a little more adventurous.
Nothing wrong with bangers and mash, my dear.
If you say so. Look, Doctor, thanks for bringing me here and getting the library fixed up, but I've got to be going. I promised Mum I'd call in on my brother tonight. She hasn't heard from him for a while. She's a bit of an old worry bag.
Of course, Monica. Well, thank you for your help this evening and your company.
Now, where's the nearest tube?
Nonsense, my dear. I'd be more than happy to give you a lift in Bessie.
Thanks, but no. That trip over was enough for me. Are you related to James Hunt?
No, but I taught Sterling Moss everything he knows about understeer. Major Rice,
Yes, Doctor?
organise a jeep to take Miss Fellows to her brother's home, would you?
Yes, Doctor. Jenkins will sort you out, miss. Jenkins, at the double.
Sir.
Miss Fellows is going to...
Highgate.
See her there safely in a jeep, Jenkins.
Sir, if you'll follow me, miss.
Goodbye, Doctor, and thanks. I still don't understand half of what's gone on today, but it was quite exciting at times.
Farewell, my dear. Now, Major Rice, the TARDIS.
In the lab, Doctor.
Splendid. Well, I'd better get to work. Don't suppose you fancy giving an old Time Lord a hand with a burnt-out gravitic anomalizer?
No can do, I'm afraid, Doc. Colonel Sherrington has called a briefing meeting at 1900.
Briefing? What on?
UFOs.
Lights on, Major Rice.
Sir?
Now, you've all seen the film. It was taken by an amateur cameraman with an 8mm device over the Essex marshes sometime last Tuesday. Special branch passed it to Major Rice. Opinions?
Quite clearly, some sort of flying object, sir. Checked the radar logs for that area of Essex last Tuesday. Nothing was picked up. No unidentified traffic reported over the area. There have been 2 independent witnesses to this object and 1 witness to a similar incident last month.
Now, the boffins in Geneva have cast an eye over it and have come up with nothing conclusive. The purpose of this meeting is to decide whether we direct valuable resources into a full-scale investigation. My feeling is that it's some confluence of ball lightning or other natural phenomena, and therefore the case should be closed.
Poppycock!
Who said that?
Balderdash! Poppycock and nonsense!
Who the blazes are you? Who let a civilian into the building? Arrest that man.
Sir, the doctor is with me. I invited him along to the briefing.
Explain yourself, Major Rice, before I have you put on a charge.
This is the doctor, Colonel. Unit scientific advisor. Didn't Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart inform you about him?
He did mention an advisor, but the chap in the photograph looked nothing like him.
Probably didn't get my best side. How do you do, Colonel Sherrington? Very nice to be working with me, I'm sure. Now, as I was saying, Balderdash, Poppycock and Peregrine.
What are you babbling on about, man?
Ball lightning? Ball lightning? That globe you saw moving over the marshes was not ball lightning. It was the unmistakable warp-field start-up burn of an interstellar craft taking off from inside a hefty gravity well.
I'm sorry?
Extraterrestrial activity, Colonel. A spaceship leaving Earth and going goodness knows where. Worthy of any kind of investigation, don't you think? Good job I was passing your little planet today, wasn't it?
Stephen? Stephen, are you in there? Come on, open up, it's me, Monty.
Nobody home, miss.
But he must be. Perhaps he's in bed.
He'd wish he was ill when I get hold of him.
Who are you?
Mrs. Cooper, the landlady, and who might you be?
Mr. Fallow's sister. Have you seen him at all?
Not these past 10 days I haven't, and he's 2 weeks behind on the rent. If he doesn't pay up by tomorrow, I'll get my reg to chuck his stuff out onto the street.
Perhaps he's got the flu, like you said, miss, and he's stuck in bed. There's a lot of it about, sir, there is.
Would you open the door, Mrs. Cooper, just so we can see inside? Check he's okay.
All right, I'll open it up, but he's still got to pay by tomorrow. Struth, what a bleeding awful smell.
Stephen?
It's the food, miss. All gone off. It's just been left out on the side.
Has he done a runner? I'll have his guts for darters if I catch up with him. The rent will still have to be paid.
Look, all his clothes are still in the wardrobe. He'd never go anywhere without his records. Never. This meal is half eaten. Whenever he left in a hurry. And he intended to come back.
There's a letter open here, miss.
Dear Mr. Fallows, I'm pleased to confirm you have been successful in your application and should report for induction on the 20th of this month. That's 10 days ago, the last time he telephoned Mum. He didn't mention anything about getting a new job.
Who's the letter from?
The Porlock Foundation, someplace near Colchester. I've never heard of them, have you?
No? Is there a telephone number? You could give them a call.
That's weird. There's no number to call, just an address. Would you take me out there tonight, Mr. Jenkins?
Afraid not, miss. My orders were just to take you here, then home. Look, it's nearly 9 o'clock. There won't be anyone at this place anyway until the morning.
You're probably right. Oh, Stephen, where have you got to? This is just so out of character.
Why don't I take you back to Unit HQ, miss? The Major is a dab hand at situations like this.
All right, I suppose I could call the police from there. Besides, I don't feel like going back to my flat alone tonight.
Right you are, miss. Back to the Jeep then.
Oh, hang on, before you all rush off. Who's going to pay for the rent?
How much?
30 quid.
I promise I'll send it tomorrow, Mrs. Cooper, once I can get to the bank.
Just see that you do, or his stuff's out on the street.
Ah, Mr. Rollo, thank you so much for coming to my office at such a late hour. You have the merchandise?
Yes, Mr. Porlock, of course. It's here.
Well, unwrap it then. I ache to see its beauty. Vorgatican's Messiah. The finest picture to be painted in the 12th century. Look at those lines. Look at the workmanship. Poetry on canvas. Do you not agree, Mr. Rollo? I cannot thank you enough for connecting me with its owner.
Anything for the guild, Mr. Porlock. Anything.
Our patron Saint Machiaven will look kindly upon this deed, my friend. Kindly indeed. Tench!
Sir.
Hang it in its rightful place.
At once, Mr. Pollock.
I was born for this moment. Did you know that Vorgatican put out his own eyes after he painted this masterpiece? He did not want to have to look at another inferior work. They called it Vorgatican's Passion.
Mr. Porlock, my client, there is the little matter of the purchase price.
Of course, Mr. Rollo, how remiss of me. Tench, the attaché case. Your client has no idea who is buying the Messiah, Mr. Rollo?
Anonymity is my middle name, if you'll excuse the pun, Mr. Porlock. My client no more knows who you are than you know who he is.
Excellent. The secrecy of the guild is paramount. Here you are. $25 million. Take a good look. Feast your eyes on this.
I shall. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Business? Business? No, Mr. Rollo. This has not been business at all. This has been pure, unadulterated pleasure. Tench!
What's going on? Let go of me, you fool!
Hold him! Look at the money, Rollo. Enjoy it as your last sight. Do you really think I can risk the security of the guild by allowing you to leave here with the information you have in your head? Come, come. That would be rather silly of me, don't you think? Hold him tighter, Tench.
Ah! No! No, please, no!
Your last sight will be the pleasant view of all those dead presidents, Mr. Rollo. Prepare to experience Vorgatican's passion. I seem to have got blood on my hands.
Shall I dump him, sir?
Yes. He doesn't have the sufficient IQ to be used in the program. Have your fun with him and then make sure he's not found.
With pleasure, sir.
Now, leave me. I want to enjoy Vorgatican's Messiah in solitude.
He's been gone for 10 days, Doctor. I don't know what I'm going to tell Mum. She'll have a fit.
Pass me that screwdriver, would you?
Here, I'm sorry to impose on you like this, but the police haven't been very helpful at all. Just taken a description and said they'll keep a lookout for him.
Hundreds of people get missing every year, Monica. Most of them turn up bright as a button.
That pot of glue, if you will, Major.
This one?
Yes, that's the one. Just take the top off. There's a good chap. Now, I'll just dip this end in here and put the two together. Oh, I seem to have stuck my fingers together. Is there any solvent in that box over there?
Are you listening? I thought you'd be more helpful than the police. Major Rice said that if anyone can find Stephen, then you could. Yet all you're doing is sitting there making a model aeroplane. This is hopeless. I wish I'd not come back at all.
My dear Monica, I listened patiently to everything you said. I've assimilated all the facts and have drawn conclusions. Just because I've chosen to do something else with my hands does not mean that I'm ignoring you. Now, Major Rice, the solvent, if you please. Getting the wings to stay on is a very tricky operation. I must pay a visit to the Airfix factory one day and let them in on a few of my ideas. Ah, I'm stuck at last.
What do you mean you've drawn conclusions? What conclusions?
Well, perhaps semantically conclusions was the wrong word. Perhaps inferences is the right one. Major, bring that map over here, would you?
Yes, Doctor.
Now, 3 things immediately leap to mind. This is a map of the area of Essex east of Colchester.
Where the film of that UFO was taken.
UFO? Look, what has this got
Do
to do
be
with...
quiet for a moment, my dear. If we mark a circle on the map roughly where the film was taken here, then mark the possible flight path of the spacecraft along this axis here, extrapolate it backwards like so... Oh, broken the lead in my pencil. No matter. Then we look at the address on the letter you took from your brother's flat. The Porlock Foundation, Felsted Levels, near Colchester, Essex. What do we find?
The flight path could have originated in the Felsted Levels.
Certainly, and the flight path goes directly over these unmarked but quite substantial buildings. Now, I'll bet Bessie to a bunch of bananas that those unmarked factory buildings are the Porlock Foundation.
It could just be coincidence.
It's thinking like that that makes people believe that it was just a coincidence that the Titanic and the iceberg were in the water at the same time.
They were, weren't they?
Who knows? But it makes you think, doesn't it? I suggest we all get a good night's rest and set off for the Felsted Levels in the morning. We'll tag along with you unit chaps, and while you wave your Geiger counters around and look for crop circles, Miss Fellows and I will pay a visit to the Porlock Foundation. All right with you, Major?
Of course, Doctor. I'll get the lads to dust off the Geiger counters right away.
Thank you, Doctor. I thought...
You're very worried, my dear, I can see that. I'm sure there's a perfectly prosaic reason for your brother's apparent disappearance, which we will discover on the morrow. Now, off you go, both of you. I want to get these wings on before sunrise. Wonderful day, Major. I think you and your men should set up your operations base here. According to the witnesses, the UFO was seen flying west to east along that row of trees. I suggest you dispense with the electronic whatchamacallits for the moment and look for evidence a little more down to earth.
Such as?
Even on the barest candle power, a warp engine will produce considerable heat. You'll probably find some scorch marks over there to the east, along that line of trees.
Right you are, Doctor. I'll get my men onto it straight away. Are you sure you don't want me to send a chap with you to the Porlock Foundation, just in case?
Nonsense, Major. Miss Fellows and I will be perfectly all right. See you in an hour or so.
Bye-bye, Major.
Here we are, Monica.
Who built a factory this size in the middle of nowhere?
Depends what you're trying to hide, doesn't it? What did you say your brother did for a living?
Computer systems analysis, ergonomics and programming. He had a double first from Oxford. Do you think he's really here?
Well, there's only one way to find out, Monica. Through here to reception, I think.
Welcome to the Porlock Foundation. Can I help you, madam, sir?
We'd like to speak to Mr. Stephen Fallows, please.
What department does he work in?
I'm not sure. He's just started.
If you wait here, I'll go and check the staff rosters. I'll see if I can find him for you.
Thank you so much.
Speak.
There's 2 people here, Mr. Porlock, looking for Stephen Fallows.
Camera 9, reception. Very pretty. But the tall one, there's something I recognize. Tench,
Yes, Mr. Pollock.
go down to reception. Talk to these people. Find out where they're from.
Are we going to have some fun, sir?
Possibly. Go.
Sir, have you located his name on your rosters or not?
Someone will be coming to speak to you shortly.
Very shortly indeed. Good morning, Tench. Systems Administration.
We'd like to speak to Stephen Fallows, please.
I'm afraid there's no one here by that name.
You know everyone who works here?
It's my job, Mr.
Doctor. And Monica here is Stephen's sister.
Doctor. Miss Fellows, I can assure you your brother doesn't work here.
Then how do you explain this letter?
Ah, indeed. And probably the rest of the alphabet too.
Yes. Of course. I should have recognized the smell of a Time Lord from the start. Tench, this man is dangerous to us. Take him to the drive room on sub-level 3. Get him to wait there with the girl.
Perhaps there's been some mistake. If you'd like to follow me, we'll see what can be done.
Computer, I want an engine test in 3 minutes.
Affirmative. Test sequence initiated.
What an interesting line you have in corporate art here, Mr. Tench. Your managing director has a remarkable eye.
Mr. Pollock knows what he likes.
I'm sure he does. That piece here, for example. Baronello, isn't it?
If you say so. This way.
And that wall hanging there. If I'm very much mistaken, and I'm not usually, that's an Algarve festoon, or I'm a monkey's second cousin twice removed.
If you'd like to wait here in the waiting room, I'll be back presently.
What exactly does the Porlock Foundation make here?
Money, and lots of it. Please, after you.
Most kind, thank you. Monica, this way to the waiting room.
He's locked the door.
Probably don't want us running all over the facility, finding out things they don't want found out. Remarkable waiting room, wouldn't you say? Look at the walls.
Will you please stop going on about the artwork in here? We're locked in. I don't like being locked up. It's obviously something that happens to you all the time.
You could say that, but the walls, Monica, look.
Strangest wallpaper I've ever seen.
No, it's not wallpaper or paint. It's some kind of abstract etching. Or... Monica, we need to get out of here now. Oh, Doctor, you're such a fool. Sometimes my conceit definitely gets the better of me. I always expect them to gloat first before they kill me. Obviously, this Porlock has no imagination.
What is it?
This is the drive pit beneath the launch platform. The pattern on the walls is not abstract art. It's scoring from a low-power warp-drive takeoff.
The ceiling, it's falling back.
Monica, get back!
What is that machine?
That's the business end of the Thalaston 4 warp engine, and it's about to start launch sequence. If we don't get out of here now, we will be people pate.